The other thing that was very clever about Iran's strategy is they correctly identified the US's biggest weakness. So a lot of people look at the US military and think they've got some of the most advanced weapons in the world. So how do you actually counter these US weapons? And a lot of people think we just need to invent some sort of weapon that can possibly compete against US weapon systems. But Iran looked at the situation in a completely different way, in a very clever way. And they identified that yes, the US military has one of the most advanced militaries in the world. But that also means that they have an Achilles heel. They have a huge weakness, which is, do you know how many people you actually need to employ to keep an F-35 fighter in the air? The answer is a lot. You need a lot of people. You need a huge logistics network. You need to have a constant supply line to keep all of these advanced weapons flying. Iran identified the weakness of the US military isn't the weapons themselves, it's that logistical network. You don't need to shoot down the F-22. All you have to do is shoot down the tankers that fuel it. All you need to do is shoot down the cargo planes that bring it its weapons. All you have to do is destroy the bases where it lands. And these are very, very simple targets to take out. And that is the crux of Iran's strategy. That's why they keep hitting all of these radar sites all over West Asia, and why they're attacking Jordan and Kuwait and Iraq and all these US military bases. And that's the whole point. If the F-22s and the F-35s don't have a way to refuel in the air, then they're basically useless. The other weakness of the US military that Iran has correctly identified, the US is what you call a glass cannon. They are very, very powerful in their ability to punch and hurt other people, but they're still made of glass and they can't take a punch. Iran already knows that it can take big losses. It fought the war against Iraq for 10 years and lost up to possibly 500,000 people in that war and had their economy devastated. But they have proven to themselves that they can endure the unendurable, but the US can't say that. In fact, the US can't take losses at all. One of the most interesting and compelling bits of evidence to back that up has been the way the US has reported their losses in this war. They don't report them at all. It is strongly suspected that at least one US aircraft carrier was hit by an Iranian ballistic missile in the Strait of Hormuz, but it was reported in the West as there was a laundry fire, so they had to withdraw and go to port and repair. Really? We have no idea what the US military losses in this war are. Tiny little Iran is punching way above its weight class, and it is doing serious damage to the US military. We can just see that from the pictures alone. If this is to be a protracted war, which Iran assumes it is, by the way, again, they are ready and prepared for at least a 10-year war. Do you think the United States even lasts that long?